Hey guys, welcome and welcome back. Today we are making my favorite appetizer, pulled chicken sliders. So without further ado, first we're going to start with seasoning our chicken breasts. If you're making this with pork, you would just use the same seasonings, but of course you would have to use a lot more to season an entire pork butt. So go ahead and season the chicken. You don't have to be very specific about where it goes on the chicken, only because we're going to be shredding this up anyway, so it won't really matter. I am going to just smooth it out a little bit around the chicken, but again, it doesn't have to be like completely on both sides, because it won't matter once we shred the chicken up. This is just so that it adds a little bit more flavor into each bite. Also, I would definitely suggest putting this in a crock pot if you have one. I just happened to just break mine, so I am using an oven until someone buys me a new one. But either way works perfectly fine. So go ahead and preheat your oven to about 350, 360. And once you're done seasoning those chicken breasts, we're just going to place those in the oven until they're fully cooked. While our chicken is cooking, we're going to work on the coleslaw. This one doesn't really have any measurements because I kind of just taste as I go. And the ratio of how wet you want your coleslaw would be up to you. I do have some suggestions where to start, but yeah. And I know coleslaw is super gross, but I promise you it is so amazing on pulled chicken sandwich or pulled pork sandwich. It is the best ingredient ever. It's not supposed to be a side, it's supposed to be on a sandwich, okay? So trust me here and make this coleslaw for your sliders. You have to trust me. So I'm just going to mix this around so that I get a good consistency that I want. It's not too wet. And I'm going to pour it in and mix it. But I didn't pour all in, but I just want to see how wet this is going to be first before I pour the rest in with my cabbage and carrots and onions. The rest of that is up to you. I think the carrots add a pretty color to the coleslaw, but it doesn't do much else, so it's up to you. And I didn't really like the ratio of that, so I'm just going to pour the rest in and give it a good mix, and make sure you're just tasting this as you go to see how you like it. Once the chicken comes out the oven, we're just going to start shredding that up. This would be a lot easier in a crock pot, I promise, but again, I don't have one at the moment. So once that is all shredded up, I'm just going to set that to the side so we can go ahead and work on our sauce. And as you see, the chicken will kind of look like this once it's all done. So now I'm just going to work on my sauce. In a small pot, you're just going to put together some brown sugar, some apple cider vinegar, some barbecue sauce, and the sriracha sauce is up to you. It's not extremely spicy. I just think it balances really well with all that sugar that we're putting in there between the barbecue sauce and the brown sugar. You definitely don't want it to be extremely sweet, so I think the sriracha and the apple cider vinegar just adds a perfect amount so that you're not eating dessert sandwiches, okay? Now I'm just going to pour in a little bit more seasonings into the sauce and give that a good mix until it's well combined. And at this point, you can give it a little quick taste test just to see how it is, see if you need to add or change anything, and then go ahead and put that on the stove and let that simmer for a little bit on low heat. And you'll start to see the sauce coming together and all the seasonings starting to actually melt into the sauce. At this point, we're going to go ahead and get our shredded chicken ready to go into the pot. And then we're going to let that chicken sit in there. I like to let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes on low. And really let the sauce soak into the chicken. And you'll start to notice a difference in the chicken while it's cooking. As you can kind of see, it's been in there for a while. The chicken is fully covered in the sauce, and it's getting softer from how it was when we first brought it out the oven. And it's a little bit more soaked in all those flavors, and it's going to make all the difference. Now we're just going to take our toasted sliders. Again, you can also use this for a pork recipe. You can just make full sandwiches. I just think it's a really fun appetizer for parties. And I'm just going to assemble it with the chicken and the coleslaw. And I promise, if you don't like coleslaw, it works on this, okay? It's not too much, and it just gets really well with the sweet and the spicy. And that is it, guys. That is how you make chicken or pork sliders. Let me know how yours came out. Let me know what you think, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.